today.
Debate over on Twitter.
I'm not sure. I can't even lie. I know the king of rap. You. and it don't be hard for me to be like, who the king of rap? And you see, I can't even lie. Citizen is doing good right now. No, it's me.
It is crazy, like sometimes how people expect people, like especially in hip hop, because hip hop is a gladiator sport. You gotta bang on your chest and like
that's what I thought.
You can't roll over and be like, no, it's just
everybody gonna say they the dopest, they the hardest,
right?
They the freshest,
Right.
They the smoothest, they the slickest. So you say he better than you? Why?
Right.
Why he better than you?
Right.
You know, tell me. Because it be reason people like, I ain't trying to put it on interview though, people saying like you asking the question. Now I want to know what you think make a dope rapper. Why is this person you talking about call his name out? Tell me why he's so dope. I want to see you stand on it.
Right.
Don't nobody jump out there.
You put up a really
I want somebody just start riding like that and jump out there and say, oh, it's such and such. I already got a comeback.
Okay, so we throw some names out. Somebody said right now Eminem's the king of rap. Why would you say he's not?
You got to come up with that. Yeah. that ain't even worth it. Alright, because I ain't playing Eminem in my car.
Okay.
You playing me yours?
When he drops something, usually the week of.
You sliding around playing Eminem in your car, you and your old lady?
Nah, just Dolo.
Dolo play Eminem just metaphor.
Yeah,
just going in.
What? Because there's something for every occasion. When you ride it Dolo, like, you know, you want it like...
Yeah.
Now, what about, like, an obvious choice that a lot of people go to? Jay-Z.
Each his own, he's from up top, so that's counseling him out.
Okay.
To me, if I'm at Atlanta, I'm going to say Jay-Z, and I'm in Atlanta. So I'm going to say, oh, I'm going to go get Jay-Z. What? All these folks in Atlanta, why the hell? Atlanta run rap, why the hell would I say that for? That would be dumb as hell.
Now, y'all got the dopest talent pool from far as like artists and current.
Exactly.
Super Sandwiches, Rocks out here. Today I just want to kind of sit down and talk about the Dragon Ball Fighter situation, which a lot of you guys might not even know is happening. So, also to kind of help, I brought out Lotus, who is an avid Fighters player. I mean, I play Fighters a lot, but Lotus plays Fighters. He also sometimes thinks about going pro with Fighters. He plays a lot of Fighters, basically.
I ain't say a lot now.
Well, the reason why I brought you specifically is because, like, as an up-and-coming player who, like, potentially would go, like, locals and stuff like that, this affects you. So, obviously by the title of the video, it's titled Dragon Ball Fighters is canceled. A lot of guys are like, what does that even mean? I thought the game was successful. It was! 3.5 million copies sold in the past year. One of the most popular games as far as tournament play, right? Or is there something better?
The most popular game, right? Like, the only thing that comes even close to Street Fighter, and sometimes Street Fighter does it, but we all know what the biggest tournament in the world is Evo. And Fighters had the most viewers and the most entrants.
If I remember correctly, it was between 255,000 or 260,000 viewers to the grand final, which is like the most. I think it's the most viewed. It's the most viewed game at Evo ever, right?
I don't know about ever, but I'm pretty sure it was hands down.
It's up there.
This year.
Yeah. So what is happening with all the success of Fighters? Well, they're canceling. They're canceling tournaments. I don't know why they're doing this. So I'm just gonna break down the timeline. So this is what happened. Evo Japan announced their lineup, I want to say about a week ago, and for some reason, they had everything but Fighters. And I'm like, well, maybe they're focusing on.
There's a certain most planned fighting game of the year that was
on
the roster, you know?
Yeah, it also won Fighting Game of the Year, and it was missing on the roster. Now, my initial thought when I saw that list was, oh, well, maybe it's just because they're doing the Dragon Tour stuff, which is ending. Dragon Tour.
that's what that one is.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it turns out
Because the Anime Ascension, which was supposed to be another tournament, which I believe was supposed to be in February, announced that they had to mysteriously pull out fighters, and they really didn't do any details. Until the information came out that, well, initially people said it was Toei doing it, but it doesn't make sense for it to be Toei, because Toei owns a license to Dragon Ball Animation, Bandai owns a license to Merch, and Shueisha owns the IP. It's a Shueisha thing. Essentially, it sounds like Shueisha wants to either get a piece of the pie, or they just want overall control, or maybe they just care about their IP. To show you how like strict Shueisha is, technically, me, Lotus, you viewing, you technically can't post a picture of Goku on Twitter without getting permission first, which sounds wild, right? But like that's how protected they are with their IP. So my theory is maybe either they realize how big Fires has gotten, and now they either want to like either get like a piece of the pie, like I said, number one. Number two, they just want overall control. And three, they just want to make sure that people get permission to use their IP first, even though it's a Bandai thing. What's going to happen is we're going to see a lot less Fighters tournaments. Now, Lotus, why is that a problem?
it's a huge problem because this is actually like quite literally going to kill games.
Yes.
Like one of the reasons why this game has been such a huge commercial success and was successful in every way imaginable that it could be is because of all the hyper popularity of it at these tournaments. Like it's like everyone loves playing the game, and it's the hypest spectator sport that the FGC has right now. It's like whether people love it or hate it, everyone's watching it. Despite what they might say, and it's not going to be at these major tournaments. Viewership goes down. Viewership is not existing because it's not there.
Viewership goes down, popularity goes down, future content goes down.
Right.
Yeah.
People have less interest in the game than people who are actually making their livelihoods, playing the game. Like Nat Kill, for example, right? Like Nat Kill has been playing fighting games for years, right? He's a very competent playable player, one of the best out there, right? Really, really fucking good. But if we're just being honest, he didn't really get known until, or at least in the public eye, outside of the BlazBlue community, he didn't really get known until Fighters, and then he got sponsored by Panda Global to play Fighters. He gets to travel the world to play Fighters, and there's other people like him, like Game God, who's been a Guilty Gear player and a Persona player for however long, right? But he made his debut and became famous, if you want to say, because of Fighters. He's traveled the world because of Fighters. And then there's even like streamers and YouTubers, some of you guys out there.
Yeah, that's something I want to know is are they going to come after content creators next? Right. So this is my problem with it. So it's not Bandai Japan doing it. Bandai Japan are smart. They know that if there's content being created, whether it be through Twitch, YouTube, or these tournaments, content is content, it sells numbers. Like what happens is Bandai they pay Shueisha for a license, and it's like, yeah, you do whatever you want. Now Bandai can go out there and figure out the best way to maximize profits, and then do this by log and stuff like this, like content creation, streams, all that stuff. They're winning at the end of the day because the more eyes on the game, the more copies that they sell. Now, what Shueisha is doing is they technically make money off of the licensing fees that that they get from Bandai, and the more money that Bandai makes, the more they license in the future. It's a never-ending loop. But what this what ends up happening is they're literally like putting down they're closing the game. It's like, you know what? We're gonna go ahead and just kind of reduce the popularity of this because I don't know if they want to control their IP more or they want to get a piece of the pie. I saw a rumor going around that they want to charge $25 grand for the tournaments.
Allegedly,
wild.
We weren't able to find a source on that specifically, but that is a quote that we saw getting passed around. People were saying that allegedly, supposedly, Shueisha wanted to charge a $25,000 licensing fee to tournament organizers in order to have fighters at their event, which is wild and so counterproductive because they'd be making way more just off the publicity they get without getting these tournaments anyway.
So what happens now is we're obviously going to get a couple or maybe a handful of tournaments over the course of 2019. That is unless they change their mind and like stop doing what they're doing. And what that's going to do is that's going to overall decrease the popularity of the game. If the numbers go down, there's going to be less to come out. You guys saw what happened in past Dragon Ball games. The second that the numbers didn't meet goals, you didn't get sequels. We could potentially not get a Fighters 2. We could potentially not get a season. I feel like we're going to get season 2. It's kind of stupid not to do it because of how popular.
Because I'm still pretty confident that my expectation and many others, the thing that makes most sense is that we were going to get a season 2 announcement at the World Finals in January. And if that's the case, it's probably stuff that they're already working on. And it'd be a huge waste of resources and time and shit if they were to throw whatever they on the way because it's so
Yeah. But future stuff past that, it's like it could put a cap on how far they can go with the game. Right. And the reason why I also brought Lotus on here is again, Lotus is a guy who's been playing the game a lot over the course of the year. And I'm sure you thought about going to locals here and there, but it's like now why would you want to invest in it? Why would you want to invest in yourself and getting better at the game that literally has a future that's in jeopardy as far as like how far you can go with it.
And that's
you
the
know,
sad
you know,
part because
go play something else.
that's the mindset a lot of people have. I've seen countless people on Twitch, on YouTube, on Twitter that are like, well, I guess I'm not gonna play the game anymore, or I'm gonna invest my time into a different game, or I guess I'm just gonna win Mortal Kombat, or I'm gonna, fully go all the way with Smash because the way it's looking right now, there's not a very hopeful future for fighters, especially in the competitive sense. And then not only does the competitive scene get hurt a lot, but then the casual scene gets hurt a lot because they want to watch the game, they want to watch people play the game, and then they might not want to pick up the game at all because there's no point in getting better at the game. It's not a good look at all the way around.
I mean, hopefully, what I think is going to happen here, and this is just me really being hopeful, is I hope that whatever Shueisha or Toei or whoever's behind this, whatever they do with it, they fail with it. Because honestly, I feel like sometimes you gotta get your hand burned before you realize that, what you had was like, you have some fire and now you're burning yourself.
Right, one of those things where like you don't really know what you have till it's gone. Like hopefully they realize that like this is a mistake and they'll see that mistake when it backfires on them.
But
like,
here's the issue though. Here's the issue. This is what I was gonna point out. Now we're gonna have that period of time where something else can take over. The reason why Fighters was so successful, other than it being a Dragon Ball IP, was because of the stuff that happened with Marvel. When Marvel flopped, they needed something to fill up that space, and Bandai they took advantage of that. They released Fighters, and literally it took place what Marvel was supposed to be.
Boy, let me tell you something. The Marvel scene is definitely out there in full effect, trying to capitalize on this shit. Be like, yeah, y'all should like, nah, don't get it twisted, Marvel fans. We still even forgive Capcom for Infinite. We still.
But the point is if this takes an X amount of time for Shueisha to realize, oh, yo, we're hurt, like, all the decisions we made about this, let's change our minds, and something else takes over, then something else is going to take over. Like, Fighters is a good game, but, like, another fighting game can replace it at any point, because in the FGC, it's all about, like, what's the best fighting game out as far as, like, mechanics and gameplay. Like the FGC...
What's going to end up happening is that Fighters just fall to the wayside, Street Fighter will be back to being on top, because Fighters, let's be honest, is the only thing that's competing with it at all. Mortal Kombat will do well, because NRS is always very supportive of the game, even when possible.
Weird.
Monetary support. It is weird, but like it doesn't support
their game.
Right. It's unheard of. Like, but yeah, it's funny because this isn't the first time something like this happened. Nintendo tried something with Melee very similar like a while back, and it didn't work. It didn't work out, and they realized they screwed up. And they were like, yeah, maybe we shouldn't do that. And you would have thought Shueisha would have maybe learned a lesson or so from that. Would have learned from someone else's mistakes and thought not to do better. But I guess not.
I don't know. I just hope that they realize it before it's too late. Because again, if another fighting game replaced, like the FGC, they didn't care about Fighters because it was Dragon Ball. They cared about Fighters because it was a good fighting game at the time. Like what people wanted it as like the next Marvel essentially. And if another, if I was a developer and I was working on the game, I would put something out like right now. By the way, we want to announce this. If you can't do Fighters, come to our game. Like I would work on something, but again, the question is how long will it take Shueisha to realize what they're doing is not the right way to go about it. And the other sad part is I don't even know what to tell people we can do about it, because like normally you make a video like this and say, hey, do X, Y, and Z, but there's nothing we can't tell you to tweet at Bandai because obviously Bandai wants these throws to happen, and Bandai as much support. I mean, I don't know, you might tweet at Bandai.
That's definitely one thing that needs to be stressed though. This is not Bandai's fault. They don't have any control over the situation. Like, yeah, we can talk to them about it, and hopefully they can try to help out in some way, but they're not the ones responsible for like shutting down these tournaments. If anything, they want these tournaments just as much as we do.
Yeah, because it makes them money. So honestly, I don't know what to do in this situation other than the fact of just let's see what happens. Once Shueisha joins us in 2019, and they leave that 1956 mentality, living in the past, and realize that the internet is good. These events, this content creation is amazing for these games. Once they realize that, then maybe we might be back in the same situation as we were this past year. But the question is how much damage will be done to Fighters? Because I feel like by the time they realize it, it's going to be too late. People are not going to care about Fighters tournaments as much anymore. All the top players would have already moved on to the next game.
See, that's what sucks.
Popularity dies.
People are already like a lot of like that. Some of the top players, right? But people are already backing out of the game. So how long until top players, sponsors, esports teams just start backing out? And then like by the time Shueisha realize they're in their ways, it's too late. They're going to stop supporting you.
Yeah. I don't know. There's really nothing else we can say about this. Like I said, if you have any thoughts about this, let us know in the comment section below. Again, I don't know what we can do to send some, like, I saw petitions going around, but let's be real, they're not going to do anything because at the end of the day, it's a cultural thing, and Shueisha and Japan in general, they're just really protective of the IPs. When it comes down to it, they're going to see it one way until they take the damage, I guess, and realize, oh, maybe we should see it the other way. So, I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Let me know in the comment section below. Hit that thumbs up, and let's see what happens. But hopefully, they realize it a lot sooner than later because I love fighters. I love watching these tournaments. The last thing I want to see in a game as successful fighters fall flat now because of the license holders. Like that's wild.
This is my favorite Dragon Ball game ever made at this point. It's my favorite fighting game out right now, hands down, and it would really, really suck to see it go downhill like this.
Yeah. I don't know. Let us know your thoughts down below, and I guess well, let's see what Dewey says. Thank you guys for watching. My name is Ryan. That was Lotus. All his information in the description below. Hopefully they don't go after content creators next, because like I feel like
Now stay put. Simpleton out of the asylum.
I'd rethink those words.
Calm down, will you?
And here I thought we were gonna have some fun.
Yeah, you, dope.
Where should I shoot you? Head or heart?
Yep.
About damn time. They said you'd be through 2 days ago.
Sorry, what are you talking about?
Just leave what you got in the cellar and be on your way. My guts give me hell, and I ain't in a sociable mood.
I ain't sure what you want from me, lady.
Are you dead in the head, boy? Put the loot down in the cellar with the rest of it. Is that clear enough for you, you dumb yak? Which one are you again? Walker? Wheeler? I don't know. All you boys look the same these days. Through the back there. No minute. Hey, what's taking so long down there? you so slow?
You're coming with...
My sons will tear you apart. How dumb are you? Ain't you heard of the Watson boys?
lines is a tribute to my dad, Josh. Our Chardonnay is smooth, balanced, with a touch of oak character. It's a difficult wine to make, but his dad always said, you keep working until you get it right. Have a taste. Let us know what you think.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Yeah, definitely. Well, speaking of the Migos, man, we got to talk about this because they have proclaimed themselves, you know, in an interview one time, a few interviews probably, that they are the best hip-hop group ever. Well, the legend, you got to call him the legend, Lazy Bone from Bone Thugs and Harmony, you know, had his 2 cents to put it on IG today. I'm going to play this clip, and I'm going to get Sandman's thoughts on this.
Yo, what's happening, man? L Burner, a.k.a. Lazy Bone in the building, representing them Bone Thugs in Harmony. So it's a lot of things going on here. Young niggas talking about they the king of R&B. Young niggas talking about they the best group ever. Best rap group ever, or whatever they said. I'm just here to set the record straight. Bone Thugs in Harmony, we still all 5 live, baby, crazy, busy, wish, Flesh, and myself, Lazy Bone. We the best, you dig? The biggest, ever done. Also, we thinking some other niggas like Outkast and WAEPMD, Beastie Boys, that did big things in this game that could also claim that, but we the best. Miko, sit down, we gonna shut y'all down for 2019. Y'all little niggas talk to me.
Say, man, what do you think about Lazy Bone saying that they're the best, Bone Thugs and Harmony? I know that's one of your favorite.
Yeah,
out there.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, get your pin on that.
All right, so listen. This is what I suggest, because this is a lot of these older rappers, a lot of these R&B singers, the legends that we grew up loving, you know what I mean? They're really starting to sound bitter, old, crazy. They're starting to sound bitter, old, and crazy. And here's why. You get mad at these young boys for saying these things, while these young boys are out here selling millions of records, selling out tours, getting a buzz, getting a big head, and the only response that you give them is, hey, man, you ain't better than me, man, you ain't never been there. That reminds me of Dr. J or Bill Russell going to Michael Jordan going, you ain't better than Bill Russell, nigga, what the fuck you doing? You ain't the greatest. Well, who said I ain't? You can't do that. Now, if you want to respond and think that you still the best now, come back with some bars. Let's hit us with a Tory Lanez, Jordan Lucas kind of thing, where you go at them lyrically, and let's see their response. I have no doubt in my mind you cook them. My thing is, get off the damn phone and stop sounding bitter.
So you don't think that? So who do you think is better, Migos or Bone Thugs?
Bone Thugs. That's not even a debate.
You don't think they don't need to say it?
But we the greatest of all time? Absolutely not. Migos aren't the greatest of all time. But if you're talking about right now, are the Migos better than Bone Thugs? And we did a vote, not me and you. If we did a vote, Migos are gonna win that. They're gonna win that. And our demographic aren't gonna be enough with the young boys. Now, if you came out with a record, that motherfucker goes viral because you start giving it to certain avenues and you know how to learn how to market. And started giving it and just start buzzing and things start going in on it. And you start hearing the younger people listening to it, you get a whole new respect, you get a whole new demographic. But ain't none of these young rappers or older rappers, aren't any of these older R&B heads putting out records to challenge any of these young boys talking shit.
I mean, but it's just like, it's kind of, I have to agree with Lazy Bone, and it's almost like disrespect. You know, it's almost like a young NBA player coming in before he kind of put any real amount of work. He may have won 2 championships, but he won 6. So you can't say that you're better than this person. So I think I even heard the Locks for years talking about they gave the Migos their props, but they not even fucking with the Migos. Not fucking with Locks. You know what I mean? But my question is ultimately though, where do you put the Migos at? Because you don't want the old heads. You said the old heads got to compete. That's not gonna happen. They're not gonna be. Both Thugs and Harmony not gonna compete with the Migos in 2019. That's just unfair. It's not.
Why?
Because the music changed, the sound changed, and everything. You know what I mean?
So if you heard Bone Thugs go ahead and rap battle right now, Migos.
Oh, you want to hear a battle between them? Are you talking about the music?
I want to hear a battle.
They not battle rappers. Migos didn't get battle.
I don't even care necessarily about, you can put out a record where you throwing jabs at somebody, can you not? I'm not saying you got to go out there and lyrically go ahead and write bars, but okay, make a better record. Bone Thugs used to be, we've had timeless hits on Bone Thugs. Right? They can make a record. You sat here and said that we better than y'all right now. Prove it. I think that you are. But you can't, it's not good enough for you just to go on your phone and say it. don't be bitter and old and just go on your phone and make an excuse. Nah, you got to come back with something. You could do that. Then just do it. If you can't, then you need to maybe step aside and go, okay, yeah, y'all may have the throne now, but greatest of all time, that's laughable. Agreed.
Where does the Migos rank?
Where?
In top. Where would you rank them in top hip hop groups of all time?
All time?
All time.
They ain't in my top nothing.
Damn.
Of all time?
All time.
Not right now.
Migos is break. I mean, come on, man. They dynamic group. They breaking mad records. They doing their thing solo. Everything they put up is a hit. You gotta now put them, at least top 10.
When I think of the Wu-Tang, when I think of the Locks, when I think of the Ghetto Boys, when I think of Outkast, when I think of EPMD, when I think of who else are the groups out there? I'm thinking the Ghetto Boys, when I think of MOP, when I think of Mobb Deep, when I think of different rap groups and things like that, and I know I'm missing plenty.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? When I think of the Dog Pound and Snoop and all them out there, when I
State Property,
Philly,
yeah,
the Rock, all of the Locks and things like that.
Yeah.
So many different groups. And then I think of, are any of those Migos better than any of them in my opinion? No.
So is it disrespectful for the Migos to say that they're the best? Yes or no?
Is it disrespectful? No, it ain't disrespectful because that's how you feel until somebody can shut them up. Now, I can say this right now, being a product born in the 80s, you know what I mean, grew up in the 90s and things like that, but I'm not going to sit here and act like the person born in 2010 can feel some way completely different.
I created my lines as a tribute to my dad, Josh. Dad was a big guy with a gentle manner, like our Pinot Noir, which has big fruit flavor, but an elegant finish. Our goal is to make delicious wines. We think we've done that, but let us know what you think.
Sat there and worked in an environment where younger kids were like, yo, the Migos are everything, bro. They changing the game, bro. I'm like, yo, who are these people? Let me listen to them. And I listen, I'm like, the fuck are they changing? Maybe just a different way. I don't know. They didn't feel like they were changing much to me. Now, that's no disrespect to the Migos, because I like a lot of their music. I like a lot of their records. But when I think of greatest rap groups of all time, they're not in my conversation.
Is it because they're from the South?
Nope.
No?
Absolutely not.
Just because it's not.
Outkast is from the South. Ghetto Boys are from the South.
So they're not even on that level, you don't think?
Yeah, GK's from the South.
Do they compare with any of the South groups, Migos?
I'm down there. I'm not going.
I mean, you up here. You heard it. Yeah, you can hear the music anyway.
I give it to them on their influence and what they're doing for the culture out there, but as far as lyrics, as far as what I want to listen to, nah. And that's not a jab, it's just my opinion.
And I think it'll come one more time. It's too early now. They've been around for a long time, but it's like, you talk about people who've been around, 10, 20, even plus years in the game. They've been consistently changing with the times, but keeping a consistent sound and still being able to, reach new plateaus. Not everybody can do that. So the Migos, they're proving they can do it recently and even a little before, but there's still time, it remains to be seen. Maybe another 5-10 years, then you can say, okay, the Migos is on Outkast's level or this person's level. But now, I agree with you now.
I'm about to say, I know you damn well you ain't listened to Quavo's album, Takeoff's album, you didn't know Offset's album didn't drop, you're not going to listen to that. You ever heard any of the Migos albums in full?
I'm just not into it, yeah.
It is what it is.
But that doesn't mean that they're not great. I just don't, really rock with them like that.
Hey, I give them their props.
Yeah.
I can't put them on, realistically put them on my list just because I feel like I'm going to ride the product.
They freestyle? Like, this is what I want to see. I want to see, like, them go sit somewhere and freestyle. Like, go to Flex. This is what, when you talk about great rappers, this is a great, you got to be able to sit in the booth right now, come here and just freestyle off the top, different beats come on. If you're not doing that, I don't want to hear nothing about you being the greatest. I've never seen them do that. Why don't rappers freestyle anymore like that? Something like that.
They bring the exposure. That's the ultimate, like, you know what I mean? Especially when you go somewhere like that. Is it the flow that it gets you off? Because I know we are Jersey, and we got Jersey influence and East Coast influence and things like that. And a lot of the Southern rappers, especially today, it's a little bit of a different kind of draw. Or just rappers in general, it's a little bit of a different flow. Is it the flow that's throwing you off?
With the Migos?
Yeah.
Well, not really throwing me off. It's just, I think it's the words, with the lyrical content. Everything else is cool. The beats, the flows and all that, the rhythm and all that, but it's just like lyrical content. I'm looking to hear something, some context, some thick lyrics, where I can, go, okay, they might put it a certain way, but it means something. It's about something. A lot of these rappers now just, they talking about ooh and stuff, popping perks, how many different women they can fuck, this, that, and the third. I mean, I heard it all before, you know what I mean? So it's nothing really different. Even when you listen to Motorsport, you know what I mean? Different things like that. It's all too much of the same. Great song and everything, but more the same.
Much of the same. It's all the same.
Right. And that's no shot at them, but just, you know.
So at the end of the day, to kind of close this conversation out, what do you think of what Lazy Bone said? Do you agree or disagree with what he said?
I agree. I agree with him saying it. To me, it doesn't matter as much as where he said it. You know, right now, people put stuff up on the Instagram. It just is what it is. Disrespect. I think it's kind of disrespectful for them to say that. You know, you got to pay homage. You know, but the younger cats, they got a different, way that they move about. Well, like when
the idea for a song or a sound can really come from anywhere. Inspiration just comes from all over the place. Keep your ears open.
90% of the time when I'm making beats, I'm working out of my home studio.
We have to stay in a lot of hotels since we're usually in the new city every day, so kind of where we can set up a laptop and a guitar, I guess.
It's kind of nice that that's kind of all you need now.
I think a big part of laptop production is plugins, obviously.
Plugins are awesome because they can make you think really differently about a track or about a sound that you're getting, and it can kind of inform the whole process.
People say, like, we have cracked plugins all the time.
Right, or they can't upgrade their programs because they use cracks that won't work.
I'm obsessed with the rent-to-own model because it allows me, for only a little bit of money every month, to have access to these amazingly powerful tools that I wouldn't have otherwise.
It's really amazing to be able to have that license key and not worry about updating your computer and it breaks the instrument that you always use to make music.
You've been able to make things in your bedroom for a long time, sure. But now you actually make something that is like massively popular.
Came up, they had people was always paying homage. Big Daddy Kane, these different people, the Nas, J's and all that. Now, these cats don't pay homage, and they should have paid homage, before saying they're the best, but they're not. There's no shot at them. They might be the best right now in this current arena, what they do. A lot of people copy them and try to bite their style, but overall, nah, not yet. Definitely. But you tune into the Uncensored Truth podcast with your brother, Oh God, and Sam, and everybody listening on YouTube.
What's in my fucking kids? I heard that bitch cry. Oh shit. Nah, y'all got me fucked up. I ain't going back in that motherfucker. Nope.
Yo, so TMZ caught up with Keith Sweat and asked if he was the king of R&B, and here comes Jacquees worse and behind.
No, you are the king. You were originally the king. No. You were originally the king. So, are you passing down the torch?
This the king from back then. I'm the king right now. This Keith Sweat. Big Sweat. But it's Big Queen. Big Queen.
Hold on. I'm still getting that bag. I don't know what you're talking.
He getting a bag, but 16 to 25 is my generation. I'm the king.
Will you pass it? Are you willing to pass the torch?
Ain't no torch in bag. Cut the camera off.
Now, Jacquees, you gotta move around, man. Listen, now you done said what you said, and now you're disrespecting. All right, you disrespecting one of the greats. Keith Sweat got hits. Jacquees can't even be called a one-hit wonder. He ain't had a hit. He's just a wonder. Like, I wonder if you're gonna be around the next couple years. And women 16 to 25, is this your king? As Brother Killmonger said, is this your king? Because, listen, I don't know how you feel about Jacquees. This was disrespectful to me. I'm a comedian, right? And I think I'm pretty funny. I think I'm doing well in my life. If I ran into Dave Chappelle or Earthquake or Bruce, I would.
I need to know what's in there. Fuck y'all niggas. There's something in it, bitch.
Our nation is suffering from a form of mass hysteria right now. Or the world's all over again. You want me to investigate flying saucers? I want you to help me prove to the public the truth. They don't exist. You think we can trust them? The captain seems to think so. They're watching us. We just witnessed an alien invasion. Get away from the car! Logic can't begin to explain what we're dealing with. Project Blue Book, January 8th.
If you'd like a chance to win a free copy of Red Dead Redemption 2 for either the PlayStation 4 or the Xbox One, you can click the link at the top of the description to enter in the giveaway, which ends on Friday, November 15th. As always, what I've done is also, with them being organized, it's easy for you to check out every location in one state instead.
What is up, my dudes? Kevin here. I'm back with a brand new Red Dead Redemption 2 video, and in today's video, I'm going to take you guys on an adventure to an abandoned mine that has some pretty good loot in it and some interesting things. So, before we get into that, guys, if you enjoyed this at any point during the video, drop a like down on the video. It really helps with the channel. Comment down below what else you guys want to see me do, and of course, subscribe and hit that bell for notifications. Let's get right on into the video. Alright, dudes, so here we are at the mine. First things first, let me show you guys where exactly you need to go. It's going to be north of Strawberry, so you can just take a train or a stagecoach to Strawberry, ride your horse up here near Big Valley, and you'll find it right here. You take this little trail, it'll lead you right to the mine. Now, once you're here, you should be good to go. I'm going to walk you guys through this and tell you guys where the loot is and basically explore this place together. So, let's get on in there. Alright guys, so right off the bat,
have a killer to catch.
Yeah, no shit, Sherlock.
Holmes and Watson.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to Red Dead Redemption 2. Today, we are moving on to our next stranger mission. Was that a crying man or a baby? What in the world is going on down here? It's a crazy old man. Help! Help! I'm right here, bro.
Sick, partner.
It's in me. They're in me.
You're not well, Fred.
What is going on, fellow outlaws? Outlaw Gary here, and today is an exciting day. Today, we're checking out a secret location in Red Dead Redemption 2 that you actually will be able to go to when doing a bounty hunting mission, but will not be able to go ahead and actually activate this location with what I'm about to show you. So if you enjoyed the video, make sure you guys drop a like. If it helps you, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications.
While GHWB's casket is being carried past the family, a Secret Service agent leans over towards George W. Bush. Some think he passed a note to him. George Bush then gave this note to his wife Laura, and she showed it to Jeb. Jeb Bush was looking the casket go by with his hand over his heart, but quickly getting irritated after Laura Bush showed him the paper she was holding. Jeb looked like horrified at whatever he saw.
So often a product comes along that is so amazing it changes the world. Is Flex Tape one of those products? Well, that's what they want you to think. The reality is a little more down to earth. If you want to know the untold truth of Flex Tape, stick around. Flex Tape pitchman Phil Swift has been in the marketing and direct sales industry since the 1980s. And his brother Alan, who he's worked with on the Flex Seal and Flex Tape family of products, has almost 3 decades worth of experience in business administration. Together, the pair founded Swift Response LLC, which specializes in easy-to-use high-performance products for common household problems. You know, like all those desperate times when your boat gets shot by a cannon.
Holy...
When flex tape commercials first hit the airwaves, they arrived with some huge boasts. If you believe the hype, then this product looked like something miraculous, a real game changer. Naturally, since it became available, YouTubers, consumer advocacy groups, and news outlets have set to work fact-checking flex tape's marketing claims. And it turns out there might not be as much to this product as they want you to think. Which is not to say it doesn't work. A Texas Fox affiliate tried flex tape on a leaky pipe and attempted to seal a leak underwater, and achieved the exact same success you see on the commercials, so that's great. But Inside Edition tried duplicating the sword-in-half boat trick with only limited success. The boat leaked, but reportedly remained seaworthy, or at least seaworthy enough for the news segment. Other YouTubers had even worse luck with their sword-in-half boat test. Their boat actually just sank. Flex Seal's response, they told Inside Edition, when the product doesn't perform as expected, it's typically because the product was not applied correctly. So basically, you should totally rely on flex tape to put your boat back together while braving shark-infested waters. But remember, if it doesn't work, Flex Seal's not taking the blame for it. Some people can't stop wondering, if flex tape can stand up to a high-pressure water leak and make a rowboat seaworthy, can it also stop a bullet? The answer is no, but that hasn't stopped some people from trying it out anyway. Deflecting gunfire is one thing Phil Swift has never said his product can do, but the outlandish idea of flex tape potentially being bulletproof has still seemed to take hold among some consumers. Many YouTubers have decided to put that notion to the test. In one example, the channel Demolition Ranch outfitted a test dummy with armor made from cardboard and flex tape. During the test, a single layer of flex tape failed to stop a bullet from a .22 caliber pistol, so the armor was made thicker and thicker and thicker. After 60 layers also failed to stop a bullet, they upped the count to 80 layers, and at that point the bullet was finally thwarted. So now we all know, the only way this stuff could help you stop a bullet is in a gunfight at the flex tape factory. Creative people on the internet have proven that flex tape products are good for so many other things besides putting vehicles back together. As many videos on social media have shown, flex tape can be used for everything from subduing a bodybuilder to exfoliating skin. Other people have used flex tape to build breakable walls, which could really come in handy if they run out of wood, bricks, or metal. So far, no one seems to have tried doing anything insanely dangerous with the product, unless you count eating it, which Phil Swift wouldn't advise.
Some people think they can eat the Flex Seal family of products. You can't. Don't eat them.
Based on what we've seen so far of people's actual experiences with flex-taped boats,
The boys are back in the comedy event of Christmas.
Indeed, Holmes and Watson. So what exactly would it mean for fans if Apple was to buy Sony, and when Apple does inevitably end up buying Sony? Well, a lot. It means a lot, and there's a lot to talk about and break down. So the interesting idea is the fact that Sony's going to lose Spider-Man. Apple's not gaining him or any of his properties or movies or anything when they buy Sony. The rights are not transferable, so they should revert back to their original owners, which would be Marvel, which would be Disney. So automatically from then on out, things change. From that moment on, there's no obligation from Sony to be like, hey, can you guys do this and that? And there's none of that. It's automatically a Disney property. It reverts back. So you could be in a place and location where literally we're seeing the fact that, let's say, Venom 2 or Morbius is already in production and something is happening, they're trying to do something, and Sony can not do anything about it because once it transfers back, it's over. Disney would just be like, we don't want to do this, and that's that, because there's no really a guarantee of anything now. It's not like, hey, we have to complete this entire contract, right? It's not like, hey,
There's a couple of big news topics that have hit over the past couple of days. The most important one is the fact that Dragon Ball is looking to be more and more difficult as a viable
competitive fighting game unless it is being managed directly by Bandai Namco. Because they do have their own Dragon Ball circuit, like they have the Dragon Ball World Tour, and that's about to actually come to a conclusion. Not to mention the fact that Jump Fiesta is like this weekend, and there's going to be a new announcement of some kind. They said there was going to be a Dragon Ball FighterZ trailer. So that's cool. There's more stuff happening. I know a lot of people have constantly been asking me, like, where's Dragon Ball? Why haven't you been playing it? There's been a lot of fighting games and a lot of games that I have been playing over the past couple of months. The last time I played the game a lot was after Cooler came out, and I really enjoyed Cooler and spent a lot of time with Android 17 because I loved the combos. And that's the thing I love about Dragon Ball the most is the core gameplay, like the combo system and figuring out team dynamics is some of the most fun. It's like genuinely, I love that shit, and it was the reason I could play Ultimate Marvel 3 in training mode forever. Like, I feel like I could play that forever. But, Super Dash, man. Super Dash and dealing with that in neutral and so that the way that interrupts the neutral is easily one of the most frustrating things I've dealt with in fighting games in some time, much less dealing with the crazy insanity of Marvel 3. It's so funny how my relationship with Dragon Ball FighterZ is almost the exact same as my relationship with Ultimate Marvel 3, where I love these games. It's just that playing them online hurts. Like, it fills me with anxiety having to play them online. So, they did do some stuff already to Super Dash where they were trying to adjust it, but many people have played it since then saying it kind of is better. I think the thing
The new 2019 Ford Edge, featuring adaptive cruise control with lane centering, handles twists, turns, and straightaways.
2019's Avengers Endgame will deal with the effects of Thanos' finger snap, the decimation in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. While we fully expect to see at least some scenes in the immediate aftermath of the catastrophic cosmic event, there's a lot of evidence suggesting the majority of the movie will be set after a time jump from Avengers Infinity War. In this video, we'll look at some secrets that seem to reveal there will be a time jump in Avengers Endgame. Tony Stark's predicament. While we undoubtedly believe the majority of Avengers Endgame will be set some time after Tony Stark arrives back on Earth, there is every reason to believe even his scenes on board the spaceship, as seen in the trailer, were set quite a long time after the decimation. In said trailer, Stark talks about the fact that he's run out of both food and water, and about the fact that oxygen is on the verge of running out as well. And given he's in the Benatar, the Guardians of the Galaxy ship, which would surely have been stocked to keep 6 people alive for a prolonged period of time. He also talks about the fact that he's adrift in space, which would suggest he's a long way from anywhere that might be inhabitable, including Titan, where his journey home began. And to be that far from his place of departure certainly indicates he's been traveling for a while. Of course, the idea he doesn't look too disheveled contradicts that idea somewhat. Stark's hair is tidy and still quite short. His beard isn't overgrown and he looks generally clean, but it could just be the magic of the movies in action. It wouldn't be the first time an A-list actor looks how we wished we looked every day, even though they should look disgusting given their predicament. All things considered, at least a few weeks seem to have passed since the events of Avengers Infinity War. But based on the evidence, we'd wager it's probably been even longer. The Missing Gallery. The Avengers Endgame trailer briefly showed how the surviving heroes of the MCU are dealing with the aftermath of the decimation. And as you would expect, they're all looking very downbeat about the whole thing. In one scene, we see Mark Ruffalo's Bruce Banner looking at a holographic gallery that shows some of the characters who are missing since Thanos snapped his fingers and wiped out half of all life in the universe. In the trailer, the 3 people on screen as part of that gallery were Scott Lang, Peter Parker, and Shuri. And while we're skeptical about whether or not Shuri's inclusion in said gallery is misdirection on Marvel Studios' part, one thing we're sure about is that compiling a gallery of missing characters would have taken some time. In order for the likes of Steve Rogers and the aforementioned Banner to establish the likes of Lang, Parker, and Shuri were missing, they would have had to attempt to find them first. The majority of Earth's heroes were in Wakanda when the snap occurred, and they'd have to travel the globe and search for the missing characters individually to confirm their statuses, then compile a database, and given the devastating nature of what happened, you have to imagine there was a grieving process before that search even began. All things considered, the fact that the Missing People Gallery even exists would suggest some time has passed since Avengers Infinity War. Clint Barton in Japan. One of the most exciting scenes in the Avengers Endgame trailer was the scene involving Jeremy Renner's Clint Barton. MCU audiences haven't seen the character since 2016's Captain America Civil War, when he fought alongside Steve Rogers on the Anti-Sokovia Accords team. For a while now, rumors that Barton would return in the guise of Ronin rather than Hawkeye have been rife, and it looks as though those rumors will turn out to be true in Avengers Endgame. The scene in the trailer in which Barton appears shows him in what seems to be Japan, hooded and wielding a sword rather than a bow and arrow, and looking very much like his Ronin identity from the comic books. It's believed he'll have taken on this new guise as a result of his entire family falling victim to the decimation, and it remains to be seen whether or not he can be convinced to rejoin the heroic fight alongside his former Avengers colleagues in an attempt to undo what Thanos did. There are a number of victims around Barton in the trailer, presumably members of the Yakuza, so he's obviously a lot more ruthless than he used to be, which would undoubtedly make him a formidable ally. If he's too far gone, which would be understandable if his wife and kids turned to dust before his eyes, it would be a real shame, though we suspect he'll be ready to fight. Natasha Romanoff's hair. Natasha Romanoff is quite a
Hey Google, show me how to make a Christmas bow. Ooh, fancy.
Prominent character in the Avengers Endgame trailer, and for the most part she has hair very similar to what she had in Avengers Infinity War. However, in one scene her hair appears to have changed, which has prompted a lot of people to suggest it takes place a long time after the events of the 2018 movie. The scene in question is the one that shows Clint Barton in Japan as a solemn-looking Romanoff confronts her longtime friend. People are saying her hair is a darker color than her previous shade of blonde, and that it's tied back in a way that wouldn't be possible with the previous bob. Therefore, it must have grown significantly, and we can kind of see it, even if it is reaching a little. The theory, therefore, is the scenes in the trailer in which Romanoff's hair hasn't changed may take place before the title screen of Avengers Endgame, before a time jump occurs that sees the rest of the movie take place several months after Thanos' infamous finger snap. If indeed this is the case, and Romanoff recruits Barton long after the snap happens, it would suggest he's recruited as a last resort to help save the day, becoming an integral part of the fight back against the Mad Titan. No battle scars. One of the most telling signs that there's been a time jump at Avengers Endgame is that none of the characters who fought against Thanos in Avengers Infinity War are bearing any visible wounds in the trailer. Steve Rogers, for example, took on Thanos' army of Outriders, the blade-wielding Corvus Glaive, and even took a punch to the face from the Mad Titan himself. And the fist to the face would surely leave a mark. The fact that he looks as pristine as Chris Evans himself in the trailer is very telling. But the character who has most obviously been healing for quite some time is none other than Tony Stark. Stark took an absolute pounding at the hands of Thanos on Titan, which of course ended with him being stabbed through the stomach with a blade of his own creation. He had cuts on his face and blood coming